You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
You've heard all the same old ideas for years about how to lighten your load.
It's time to light up this discussion with calculated risks that will definitely shave pack weight. Welcome to the Backpacking and Blisters podcast. We are tips and tales with a sense of humor. This episode is brought to you by Lighten Equipment, the least risky ultralight gear that I bring on my trips. Lighten your load at enlightenequipment.com. With me today is the human equivalent of the Canadian typo, Jesse Manti. How's it going?
What does that even mean? What like I'm
it's
the
just a
human
it's just making fun of you being an.
Are you saying like I
mess up.
spell things wrong all the time? I'm a human typo.
We're gonna find out how you mess up on this episode.
Well, okay, I guess with me today is the man who takes the calculated risk to come up to Canada to go backpacking. Actually twice. I was going to say once, but I forgot that you did do it the second time here in our famous and infamous summer-winter. Carl Mandrioli.
You love the summer-winter comment.
I think it's hilarious. It's like my new favorite Canadian season, summer-winter. It's so great.
For those who do the show, I called his summer like summer-winter because they call it summer, but it still feels like winter.
Yeah,
so that's the deal.
It explains what our winters are like to Americans so effectively. I just think it's great.
And I think as a result of that, you're actually going to hate one of my answers. It doesn't really apply to Canada, but it does apply to other parts of the world.
Yeah.
On a 4-day backpacking trip, how much weight do you think your average backpacker is packing, either in kilos or pounds, however you want to do it?
Yeah, that's interesting. So I don't know, to be honest. I'm going to guess. Like, averages are so tough because there's going to be the people, and so many people do carry the 60-pound pack, but I don't think that's, so I'm going to say average. I think average is probably 38 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know how I came up with that number? I just asked ChatGPT right now.
Okay.
And it gave, no, I'm just joking. I was thinking between 30 and 35 and 40, which is 38.
It's like 15, 17 kilos, something like that.
Yeah, we don't use kilos up here like that, Carl.
What do you use?
We use pounds. If somebody asks me how heavy my backpack, I would have no idea what it is in kilos. I know what it is in pounds.
Okay. Well, there you go.
We use it. We are very selective. Canadian metric is one of the most complicated measurement systems because we use metric and imperial based on feeling. That's all it is.
We still do that. We still call like liters of water and things like that.
Yeah.
More than quarts, but okay.
Distances are really hard because short distances are metric. Medium distance will be like, oh, that's a mile away. Like, that's not uncommon to say. And then long distances go back to metric. It's just feelings. It's how we feel.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think you're a little high on the pounds for sure, but I will say that, so like I went to this, to Yosemite a few weeks ago, and our first camp was in a very large group camp. And so we camped near kind of a community area. So I see people constantly coming and going. And some people have ultralight gear, like they have like the Hyperlight packs or whatever, Zpacks, packs, but they're like fully packed out. They're not ultralight. So they're buying ultralight gear, but they're carrying a lot of weight. And so when we talk today about like calculated risk that will really lighten your load, I just wonder, we've talked about the main things, like reduce your food, reduce your water, reduce your clothing, bring fewer luxury items, stop with the pack ornaments. Like those types of things are probably the top 5.
Yes.
But nobody's really doing that. So I don't know why you would skip over those things and then jump to calculated risk, but I would say most backpackers are in the 30-pound range is what I saw.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. And now that I think about it, I guess I think of a lot of backpackers as being beginners, because I think backpacking is one of those things where a lot of people do it once or twice. And it's those like first backpacking trips where it's really common for your backpack to be 35 to 40 pounds.
That's fair.
But you're right. That is not that is not the average. The average backpacker who does it as a hobby does it way more times than all the beginners who do it just a couple of times. So no, you're right. Probably like in a given year, it's probably a little. I'd say it's probably a little higher. But when you average out, if you just look at backpackers as a whole, like if on a given trip, like on the trail, I'd say it's probably higher than 30 because there's a lot of beginners out there. But if you look at like, hey, are you a backpacker? Yes. What's your average trip or what's your average weight? They'd probably say 30. I mean, that's pretty close to me too.
Which is crazy. So it would, to me, be crazy to just jump to these calculated risks when you can easily reduce your pack weight with other things. And I'm talking about backpackers. Through hikers, like they're looking to shave any which way. They're cutting straps. They're cutting, tags or like labels off of their stuff. I get it. So
are you talking base weight or
total pack weight? Total pack weight.
Yeah. Do you think 30 pounds is absolutely insane?
I don't think it's insane. I just think that if you're talking about like, well, I want to light my load and then I'm going to jump to calculated risk, I just feel like we're skipping over a bunch of steps to get there, because without even trying that hard, like I can get my pack under 20 pounds total.
I have to try pretty hard to get my pack under 20 pounds total.
With
food?
And I'm talking about with people that are buying the premium stuff like I'm talking about. So I just think I think this is an interesting episode in that regard, because I think that as some of these backpackers like the Gen Xers and the millennials age, or if they're just simply gaining weight, like you really should be reducing your pack weight if you want to do more than a few miles a day or prevent injuries. And so I think if you're an experienced backpacker and you're still packing 30 pounds, I think you're asking for it.
But I feel like what you're saying is you're probably not doing the most basic things, but here's the things that you could do that are more extreme. So then don't even listen to this podcast. Just go and do the basic things.
Well, we've done a lot of episodes of the basic things, and people laugh at me. So I'm just like, I guess I'm like preemptively trying to defend myself about my answers because people are going to scoff at what I'm about to say, and possibly what you're about to say. They're like, why would I do that? Well, you clicked on this for a reason. You're obviously trying to lighten your load. So we've got some pretty aggressive things. These are calculated risks. We're not talking about like, don't bring a stove and just eat cold food. That's not a risk. You can still eat, obviously. We're talking about like, these are calculated risks. There's some risk involved here. Is that fair to say?
That's a risk to my taste buds, that's for sure. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, this is a risk. This is definitely not for beginners.
Right.
I would never recommend these to any beginner or even non-experienced backpacker to even consider these things.
I'm with you.
This is things that take things a little risky, but you're experienced enough that you've done the basics. Now you're ready to go that next level, or you have one trip coming up and you're like, how can I really cut a corner? Here's a risk that you should take out considerately. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and now that we've said that, if you still want to get upset at our answers, of course you're allowed to. So
also, this is for entertainment purposes. If you do any of these things and die, it is not our fault. Correct? Right?
Proverbs 11:14 says, where there is no guidance, a people fall. People falls? But in an abundance of counselors, there is safety.
Yeah.
Is this episode filled with good counsel? I feel like you just answered this, but I just want to clarify.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no safety in what we're about to propose.
It's not a safe episode,
We are not good counselors, and it might be true to say in this Proverbs, where there is this kind of guidance, people might fall.
All right, so we put that out there.
Yeah.
We've said our piece. Here we go. All right, so calculated risks. You want to go first or second here?
No, I want you to go first. What is the calculated risk that you are just waiting to tell people you should do this if you want to lose some weight, not lose some weight, lose some weight out of your
Okay,
pack?
I'm going to tell you about an increasing trend on the trail that I personally am not going to do, but that I was like, there was a company that tried to sell me on this trend because apparently it's a growing trend, and I actually have seen this. And this is the one specifically that probably does not apply to Canada, but that is if you're trying to reduce the weight on your feet, which is significant, like you go from boots to trail runners, and some people even go down to like road running shoes. And at that point, if you go to like road running shoes, you're losing a lot of that grip on the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah.
So there's an in-between. There's keep the grip, the aggressive lugs in the bottom of your footwear, but also keep the weight of the road running shoe. And the way you do this is you wear a sandal. Specifically the Lems switchback sandals. They're lighter weight than a trail runner, but more aggressive and grippy tread that's closer to a boot. Advantages, they're going to be quick drying, great for stream crossings during the summertime. Yeah. Of course, the risk is they're less protective on rocky trails. So if you tend to kick rocks, like they do curve upwards so that they're semi-protecting your foot, but they don't have like a full-on like toe shield, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think I've seen these actually on trail, not these specifically, but I've seen hiking sandals on trail.
Okay.
And yeah, I do. I think it's a real risk, and I don't think I'm coordinated enough with my feet to take this risk.
Okay.
Do you think you would I would seriously injure my toes and foot, probably get some bloody feet walking down the trail. What would you like? Would you be able to do this?
No, and I don't take a lot of like falls backpacking, but I have like twisted my ankle before. I can't even imagine twisting my ankle with these sandals on. But when I'm trail running, like I typically take like 2 to 3 falls a year. It's typically like kicking a rock or a stump. And so if I was like running in them, my toes are already mangled from years of trail use. And so this isn't a fit for me, but I thought it is a fit for people that are more coordinated, maybe younger.
I also think it's ugly. Who wants to see somebody's nasty backpacking feet or smell their nasty backpacking feet? It's like, put some socks on, hide those.
They're not going to be as smelly if you're wearing sandals though, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe. No, I feel like I've stepped over so many deadfall trees and scraped the bottom of my shoes. Like I've even like damaged the upper of my shoe. But like if that upper wasn't there and if I didn't have socks on, that would just be my foot.
Yeah, that's why I said not for Canada. But you're right.
Yeah.
If you're going off trail or like a non-well-maintained trail, other places like that could be an issue for sure.
No, good idea though. Like definitely, it's an upcoming trend.
And a risk.
And honestly, weight on your feet. I was just telling somebody else recently. Weight on your feet is one of the like heaviest and most damaging types of weight.
For sure.
Like it's what affects you. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's a
risk. Beat that, Jesse. What's your calculated risk?
Okay, my calculated risk, we kind of talked about this a little while, but there's a little bit of science behind it. Leave your rain gear at home. All of it. This is totally calculated.
What in the world? Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
Like your jacket?
Yeah, jacket and everything. Leave it all at home. And here's the theory behind it, okay? We actually got into this a little bit in the comments. Somebody was like, rain gear keeps you warmer. And rain gear does not keep you warmer unless you're going for a vapor barrier. No, it doesn't. It has zero insulation. To it. But you can get insulated layers. So I'm not saying don't bring insulated layers, but you can get natural insulated layers that when wet will still keep you warm. And
like wool,
even synthetic layers, like a good synthetic puffy. It won't compress. It will keep you warm. It will get wet, and your body will, if you're active and doing a high intensity active. This is why trail runners, like they're just run through the rain. I just recently saw one. They're just running through the rain because their body is
not fun though.
No, it's not fun. But their body is so hot that they are evaporating that moisture pretty quickly. And so this is a calculated risk. You need to know what the weather's going to be. You can't do this in Canadian winter, summer. Because like if you don't have a rain jacket and it starts snowing, you might have some problems. Honestly, even here, it's something you can do. Would I recommend it? But, all right, I don't know. If you knew you were going out for like a 3-day trip and you looked at the forecast, and the forecast was like nothing but sun, would you consider leaving your rain gear at home?
Okay, that's actually a better question. So if you're talking about the Rockies, no, it's going to rain. Yes. If it says like there's not a cloud, all clouds have dissipated from the earth, it's still going to figure out a way to rain in the Rockies. Yep. Now, if you're talking about the Sierras or other more reliable weather zones, then I absolutely would consider that.
So there you go. Some environments you could.
I would still like to give you the terrible award answer. So
the terrible
answer award, I should say, because okay, first of all, if I have a mid layer, the Magnet Designs, that one is very breathable, and so it'll keep me warm. But as it gets colder and colder at night, I want to trap that warmth into my body. If I put a rain jacket on, it does that. It traps the warmth. It's an extra layer. It's not an insulating layer, but it's a layer. A layer's a layer. So I would use it for that.
You could do a windbreaker. A windbreaker is a fraction of the rain jacket and would also trap that layer.
You're also making the assumption that people, as they hike through the rain or in the rain, are going to keep going and they're not just gonna like
Stop at camp.
I don't know, just stop. Like maybe they'll get tired. Maybe they're hiking uphill and it's not that it's the rain. It's just that they're just getting fatigued and need to stop. And when they stop, they get cold. There's just so many variables you're not considering. So bad answer, Jesse.
I do agree. The camp situation I think is a legitimate concern. That if you're wet at camp and not moving, that's when wetness really matters. Because then no amount of insulation is actually going to keep you warm because your body's not producing enough heat as it is. But the assumption is if it's raining and you get to camp and you don't have rain gear, you're getting into your tent and changing into dry gear as fast as you can. And there is a balance to this, which means you have to bring different gear. I'm not just saying use the same gear you always would and leave your rain gear at home. You do have to bring a little bit of heavier mid layers, probably some drier clothes that you can change into. So it's not going to be a major weight savings. It's going to be like half your weight and rain gear is going to be half of extra gear, clothing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I stand by what I said. I like the creativity with your answer, though.
I take
it.
I'll receive it.
Next one I've got is, okay, so I'm going to tell you like kind of entry level how I do this, and then the next level, which is the real risk takes place. So I'm flying out on a trip. We're going to Sequoia next month. Obviously, when you fly out, you can't bring like the fuel canisters with you. That I don't know. So my strategy is I would like to share that with somebody. So what I'd say is like, hey, I reached out to my buddy Jason. I was like, Jason, if I can use your stove, I'll carry the fuel canister. So he's going to get the fuel canister. All I've got to do is carry it. It's the heaviest part of the stove pot system, whatever. And now I'm reducing a little bit of weight. That's not like risky, assuming that Jason makes the whole trip and I'm not like trying to figure out a stove. But if I want to take it to the next level, if I'm going to areas, which I think I am, that have bear boxes, unfortunately, bear boxes and in Canada, bear lockers, people use those to ditch gear. They're actually lightening their load, which obviously the Rangers hate. It's not allowed, but you can find stuff in there. And what can you find? There's two things. You can find the fuel canister, first of all, like a partial, and then you can typically find extra food. So if you skip the fuel canister packing it all together, if you just pack less food than you think you're going to need, if you know you're going to hit a backcountry zone with a bear locker or a bear box, you can resupply there. But again, it's risky.
Oh man, this is a bad answer as well. This is half
Worse
of a
than
bad
the rain
answer.
jacket? Are you serious?
It's food. You need so first of all, I do agree with the fuel. There is a chance that you might find an abandoned fuel canister, or you could mooch one. I've been able to mooch one off of somebody coming down the trail. They didn't need it. I think if you ask the average backpacker, hey, I forgot my fuel canister. Can I use yours? I don't think I know a single backpacker in the backcountry who would say no. Okay. I think they'd all say yes. So I think that's actually, that part's good. The food, I don't think I've ever seen like any food that you'd want to eat left behind in a bear locker.
Oh, dude, they have to take so much food out. They get so annoyed.
Really?
So, yeah. Dude, I got accused of leaving food in a bear box by a ranger 20 years after the fact because he came on this podcast. He's like, were you the guy that left the Tupperware inside? I remember that year somebody left a bunch of Tupperware and food in the bear box. We had to pack it all out. I was like, you mean 20 years ago? No, that was not me.
It was Tupperware, Mike. We all know it was
I know.
Tupperware,
now we know, but
100%,
I didn't know at the time.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But that's like the prepared food. We're not talking like undehydrated meals. So are you going to eat somebody's rehydrated like lasagna, Mountain House lasagna?
No. Just like people just are like, I brought too much trail mix. They throw a stash trail mix. I brought too many crackers or whatever. Like literally on the Yosemite trip, we had somebody wander in our camp, and I think they were on their way out. They're like, hey, I got this big bag of trail mix. Does anybody want it? So he wasn't in the bear box, but he's offering it up, and somebody took it.
Okay. I take it back. You're right. Granola bars, trail mix. I've seen that in bear lockers. I'm thinking dehydrated meals. Yes.
No. You could prepare with those.
So no, you're right. So leave the snacks at home. You'll probably be able to get snacks from a bear locker.
Right.
That's risky.
All right.
Because you don't know for sure. And that's what I was going to say is, to me, that's a really bad idea. Because like I'm thinking dehydrated meals. You need food. You can't go 3 days backpacking fasting. It's a bad idea.
I've never not seen the food in there, though, extra food.
No, like I said, I was thinking dehydrated meals. Now that you say granola bars, you're right. I think that's pretty common. So if you're just going to leave some snacks at home and you're banking on having snacks from bear lockers, that's ridiculous. Right. But okay. I think I'd be afraid of getting accused of stealing. Like there's been times where I've seen tasty granola bars left behind and I just don't know 100%. Like is it like a trail runner who just left their thing and they like or is like, you know,
usually there's a note. If they're going to leave it for a period of time, they typically put a note there. So I've actually had the opposite happen where I put a cooler in a bear locker. This is actually for our Yosemite 50-mile day. So it was only going to be in there for less than 24 hours. And then I had Gatorades in there because I was like, I'm going to want, some electrolytes at the end. And when we got back, like half the Gatorades were missing. And there was a note the other way saying, sorry, I was really thirsty. I needed this. I had my stuff stolen. So it's kind of fair game. Anyway. All right. Next one. What you got?
This one's similar to yours, but in a different vein of mooching, but I think is probably the most commonly mooched thing, but something that experienced backpackers have a really hard time mooching. But we're also probably the ones who most likely mooch this safely. And that is a first aid kit. And I cannot stand that I'm about to say this, but I have not been this person, but I've backpacked with people who have done this, mooching the bear spray. Where they feel like
how do you mooch the bear spray?
They feel like just because one person in the group has the bear spray, they don't have to bring their own bear spray, so they don't bring bear spray. They also don't bring a first aid kit because they know I have the first aid kit. So I'm the one who gets mooched off of for this all the time. But honestly, thinking it through, like realistically, on a backpack in a group setting, does every single backpacker need a first aid kit?
No. And that used to be group gear, but then same thing. I got tired of being the guy that brought it. Yeah, here's what happened, actually. I don't know, this is probably TMI, but I had this perfectly curated first aid kit that was ultralight that had pared down over the years. It was like perfect for exactly what we need. And somebody else had it and kept it. And I was like, can you please send that back to me, please? And they're basically like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I'm like, I'm not lending gear ever now.
So, but like, have you ever taken the risk of being like, I'm not going to bring first aid at all?
No, because I'm typically a trip planner, so I have to have the first aid kit.
See,
but if somebody's like, hey, do you have an ibuprofen? I just say no.
I know.
I'm just kidding. I don't say that.
I know a lot of backpackers who it's like, and I've started leaning this way. If I'm going solo, I think I'm leaning more and more this way to saying, all I really need is some Leuko tape and a couple of small gauze pads. If it's a Band-Aid, it's a Band-Aid. If it's like, that's all I really need. I don't need, and then of course still some vitamin I. Yeah, it's a risk that I think I'd be more and more willing to take. But if I'm with people, I always bring that. Like just this weekend, again, some young guy didn't have a first aid kit, gashed his hand up on a rock, like nothing dramatic, but was just bleeding. He was scared. He was like, oh my goodness, I'm bleeding. Oh my goodness. Right. I was like, just relax. It's going to clot up really quickly. Just let's wipe it off. Gave him some gauze. He didn't even need gauze. He just needed a Band-Aid, but he felt like he needed gauze and tape. And then we used duct tape.
Right.
So anyways, you could leave the first aid kit at home. But like I said, experienced backpackers are the least likely to do this, but probably the most, like the ones who could actually justify not bringing, because they know how much first aid they actually have used over the years. You only need a few things, right? Like how much first aid have you actually used over the years?
As you get older, Jesse, you'll start using more and more. Is how it works out. So, or if you go in bigger, like as a soloist, probably not. But as you go in bigger groups, now you have people that are more, potentially cause damage to themselves, and so that's when you start throwing Band-Aids around, things like that. But
yeah, I want to be clear. I am not this person, but I have backpacked with people who have left their. I was always shocked. How is your backpack so light? And I started calculating the things that they relied on me to bring, which was first aid kit, bear spray, the map. Few other things that I started. It was like a compass, just an emergency compass. I was like, oh, I have all these like backup gear that we need just in case, and they don't even think about it.
Right. So I sent out my gear list actually yesterday for our Sequoia trip, and typically I had this category of group gear, and then I would typically assign myself most of the group gear, and then assign other people like small things. And I just revamped. I'm like, nope, no group gear, and I just put individual gear. And then immediately get an email, wait, am I supposed to bring this and this and this and this and this? And I was like, yep, not lending anything out anymore as a result. So now you see like jaded Carl, who's just...
Carl, I'm so proud of you.
I don't want to get mooched off of in that way. I don't want to.
I'm so proud of you.
keep on losing
Years
gear,
ago,
yes.
that was when I first came on this podcast. That was my whole thing, was that I thought your guys is like you trying to tell everyone what to bring. It's just every backpacker should be a solo backpacker. It is the best thing to do. And then that way you own your own responsibilities. If you're backpacking and you don't have first aid kit, it's on you. You made that decision. Move on. It can't be somebody else's fault.
Right.
And so I'm all for that.
Okay. It's a little more complicated than that. I feel like when you're like, we did a lot of our backpacking when we were younger. So we didn't have a huge budget. So we're trying to share gear to stretch our budget, right? There's those years. And then if you're bringing, like, we're always bringing new people, so you don't expect the new people to have all of their gear dialed in as well. So there's going to be some lending of gear. But now I've hit the age where it's like, okay, everybody that's going is experienced. They legitimately should have this stuff, and then I'm the one that's flying out. So if you're flying out and like bringing gear to lend to people, that's like you're asking for it.
Hey,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one. This one I mentioned on a couple episodes, specifically with the Jeff Peltier episode where I was running like aggressive ultralight ideas by him, calculators by him, and he was basically telling me that all of my ideas were, I think he said stupid light is the phrase.
Stupid light.
He kept on, yeah. One of the ideas I ran by him, he actually convinced me to go the other way, and this is the idea, because this keeps on popping up, not with me, but with other people that I trust. The water filter. A lot of people are so reliant upon the water filter and so afraid to dip in or to even like have snow melt right into your water bottle. They just feel like it's safer. And so if it's a safety issue for you, great. But I continue to hear about like backpacking leaders and straight up rangers that do this. Like I've literally hiked with a ranger who's like, I don't have a filter, dips right in and goes. And then I heard somebody on the last backpack trip say, there's a phrase in Idaho. It's like dilution is the solution to pollution. So the more flowing the stream or river, it doesn't matter if there's like dead animals there or if they've gone to the bathroom. If there's that much water that's going down the river, it's going to be so diluted that you're not going to have any issues. And you know what? If you do have issues with your it's not going to have for a couple of weeks because and by that time you're off the trail.
So I'm confused. So you said that Jeff Peltier convinced you to go the other way. You said leave the filter at home, and then he gave you an argument that made you say, "Okay, you're right. I need to bring my filter." What was it?
He was just saying that like that people's argument about the melting snow or off the glacier, that like he's gone on trips where they say like all of the water is literally coming from that, and then he goes and then he like they go through a section in a valley like it's going through farmland. He's like, this is technically off the glacier, but it's going through fertilizer. And so, yeah.
And then I think you and we talked about the elk poop situation
elk
where
juice.
it was like literally like, it was like, yeah, I could see the glacier, but there was elk juice, like poop right in the little stream.
I'm not talking about like little creeks. I'm talking about like flowing.
So you
have to be strategic. And I would never dip in on like a lake.
Yeah. Durston just even said this too, that he's which is pretty crazy. I am surprised at the amount of people and respected people that I respect, like you said, that have said, "Oh, I've never used a filter. I just don't." Yeah. But I don't want Giardia. I mean, Giardia can mess you up for like not just weeks. Like it can mess up your. Anyways,
I haven't had it, so I believe you.
Yeah, me neither. But I've heard horror stories.
And really, like, how hard is the bee free to use, Jesse? Right?
Oh, it's awful. It's the only time I have just dipped in. The only time I haven't used a filter is when I had the bee free because I was so annoyed with it.
Oh my gosh, I love the bee free. Okay.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay.
What's your last one before we share our summit answer here?
Yes. Okay. So this one's the last one before you. Is best way to shave some weight is throw your friend's sleeping bag out of the van and blame it on them for forgetting it. And that way, as a group, you all carry less weight. So I think, Carl, you've probably done that a couple of times.
You're going to share sleeping
bags?
bags?
No, I'm not saying you
should.
You just make themselves a bed of boughs and sleep under the pine trees because you threw their sleeping pad out and then blamed it on them for forgetting it. I think this goes back to a controversy early on, and I am calling you out and saying you're the pack sleeping pad thrower outer.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got a couple stories going on where people are forgetting things like sleeping pads, or we've had like 2 separate guys forget sleeping bags on our trips.
Yeah, and it's always in the same trip that Carl's in.
Like, there's no other trip ever has people forgetting things. Is that what you're saying?
Nope. No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad strategy, especially if the person's like slow, right?
It's controversial because if you get caught, first of all, it's controversial because you're not saving yourself weight.
Right.
And second of all, anyways, I'm obviously just joking.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you.
I have one more episode or one more answer after this.
All right. Well, I got more too. So this is going to be our summit answer. So this is the most controversial one that, for me, I've gotten the most feedback on. And so this summit answer is brought to you by Summit Something. I brought a stack of the Summit flags to Yosemite for the Half Dome Summit. Everyone loved them. We took a bunch of pictures with them, and others wanted to use them when we were up there. These flags are truly a hit, and one is now my daughter's wall at home. Check out Summit Something's flags at summitsomething.com. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. I'll share my summit answer because I've shared this before as more of like a theory, and then I just kind of really paid attention to this in the last trip. And folks, I just think that the headlamp is overkill. I don't think you need to bring it. I think it's that simple. Like, I didn't even use it on the last trip. Like, I just kind of like left it in my backpack. I think I used it once just because like I had it, but I could have easily used my phone light. People are like, but what if you get caught in the dark? If you're backpacking, just camp. So you have your gear there, just set up camp. And then, obviously, if you're planning to hike in the dark, then you would need the headlamp at that point, but that's a different type of trip. I just think that the phone, flashlight, like most people aren't doing a ton of things at night.
Yeah, you have your phone.
What most people are doing is they're going to the bathroom, so just use your phone, flashlight for that. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't think this is very controversial.
Dude, people hate this. I get so much feedback. Are you serious? People hate this idea.
It's like, also, it's like an ounce, like depending on which headlamp you're doing. Like you're saving yourself
2 ounces-ish
2 ounces?
and clutter. Pack clutter.
Yes, and clutter. Yeah, no, I don't think this is controversial. I'm all in, totally. Especially here in Canada, like June, we were just out. It stays up. It's till 11. Right. It's bright till 11. Yeah. Like that's fine. No, my summit answer is a low-rated, or even if you want to get really extreme, low-rated sleeping bag. Bring a low-rated sleeping bag or no sleeping bag, and just sleep in all your clothes. Layer up, put your puffy on. I actually know people who have done this, and I have a friend, for years I could never understand that he would always use the same sleeping pad that was just like a cheap El Cheapo sleeping pad that he got from a big box store that was rated to like way warmer than it should be. And it's because he would sleep with his winter jacket, his sweater, his everything, his sweatpants. He just layered up and then went into his sleeping bag.
Right.
Saved himself a bunch of weight. And
he didn't because all that weight just goes into the clothes that he wouldn't have to bring if he had a nice sleeping bag.
He brings those clothes anyways. He brings them in case.
Of course.
Well, yeah, because he brings them in the cold. And I know of other people, more so mountaineers, but some mountaineers who will be like, I bring a sleeping pad and then I just bring my like warmest puffy jacket and some snow pants, insulated snow pants, and huddle myself up against.
But who wants to do that? You're like, okay, it's time to cozy on up at sleep.
Put on all my clothes.
I'm cozying up with just my
clothes.
I
know. I would never do this, but it is controversial. Right. Leave the sleeping bag at home. Sleep in your winter puffy jacket.
Okay. All right, folks. Which one are you most willing to try? Which one was struggle with extreme terribleness? Obviously, Jesse's jacket one. But besides that, what else you got?
No, I think all of mine suffered with extreme terribleness because... These are
all right. We're gonna get the feedback. Like this is a feedback-heavy episode, so we'll see.
Oh, people will feed in. Okay, but what I want to hear is not just which answers were the worst. Legitimately, what are your controversial takes on things that you have
done? If you have other ideas, for sure.
Yeah, I want to hear people's ideas. Maybe we could do part 2 and actually hear experiences.
If we get enough, we could definitely just share all that.
Yep.
All right, you got trivia this episode?
Yes, I do. This is weight loss trivia.
Weight loss trivia coming up right after this.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
House Trivia is brought to you by Magnet Designs, handmade to order in Bend, Oregon. Magnet Designs gives you the most vetted backpacking products with the smallest environmental footprint. Through hiker design, tested, built, and owned, check out the Alpha 90 hoodie, their best-selling product using Polar Tech Alpha Direct fabric. It's ultralight, compressible, hydrophobic, breathable, quick drying, and just 4.5 ounces. Google Magnet Designs for the best backpacking gear. Jesse, what you got?
Question number 1, Carl. This is non-controversial. This is the opposite of controversial. This is like the thing that every backpacker has done, dreams of doing, or thinks that they should do. What is the weight of a toothbrush handle when it has been cut off? Is it 1, less than 5 grams? 2, the weight of 2 US pennies? 3, Durston helium-infused handles actually make them weightless? Or 4, 15 to 20 grams, that's 0.5 to 0.7 ounces. 1, less than 5 grams, the weight of 2 US pennies, weightless, or 15 to 20 grams slash 0.5.
Okay, this is a fun one. I don't know my grams are, but it's got to be less than 5 grams.
It's not. It is the weight of 2 US pennies. It is between 5 and 10 grams.
Okay.
A total toothbrush is about 15 to 20 grams.
Dang.
So you're shaving off almost half, if not 2/3 of the weight of a toothbrush when you cut off its handle.
That's kind of the badge of honor for ultralight, and I don't think a lot of folks are doing that unless you're like a through hiker. That's my theory.
Have the toothbrush where it's just the thumb. It's already. It's like it was manufactured with the handle cut off. Yeah. Okay. Question number 2. How much does 1 liter of water weigh? Is it A, about a pineapple, B, the weight of a cotton hoodie when wet, C, the same as 1 liter of feathers, or D, about the weight of 10 ketchup chip bags from Canada?
10 ketchup chip bags. Dude, this is such a hard question because I don't know how much. I don't eat a lot of pineapple.
I just love this question so much because you could probably give me the answer, but you have to actually determine which of these answers it is.
Yeah, it's like about 2 pounds. But is a pineapple? I feel like a pineapple's probably the right weight. It's like about the right size, and it's got water inside. The hoodie, when wet, like that's really hard to calculate. If it's sopping wet, that's gonna be closer to like 4 or 5 pounds.
1 liter of feathers.
The other one, the ketchup chips, like I don't eat a lot of chips, so I'm guessing that it's gonna be like how many bags?
10 bags of ketchup chips.
Yeah, that's gonna be too heavy. That's too heavy. What was the other option?
The same as 1 liter of feathers.
All right, I'm going with the pineapple.
That is correct. Yeah! It is the pineapple. Liters is a volume, so it's not the same as the whole 1 gram of feathers or 10 grams of feathers is the same as 10 grams of lead. It doesn't matter. Okay. And 10 ketchup chips is actually less than a liter of water by like a lot.
No, because if like those chip bags are 8 ounces, right? So 2 chip bags would be a pound, and so then you're talking about 5 pounds.
What? They're not 8 ounces.
How much are they?
They're like 66 grams. I don't know how much that is in ounces.
Like it's not like individual portioned out. I'm thinking like a bring it to your party kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know how many.
See, that wasn't very clear. I still got it right. I overcame.
I'd have to look at one sec. Let's Google this. I'm gonna check.
I caught you on a question last time too.
Well, see, I'm looking at grams. So 220 grams times 10 is
that's like 5 pounds. That's 5 pounds.
Exactly, which is not 1 liter of water. So, okay, you're right. But I said it was much less, but you're right. It's actually much more. That can't be right.
Yeah.
That can't be right. 10 chip bags is 5 pounds? Okay.
If it's like
that
the
seems-
full size bag, not the like snack size bags.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Whatever. Either way, it's still
Okay.
you got the right answer. You got it. Next question. Last question. According to my mad dash Googling and AI using skills 5 minutes before this episode began, what is the heaviest dehydrated backpacking meal?
Ooh.
Is it I, Peak Refuels biscuit and gravy?
That was gonna be my guess off the top of my head. That's funny you said that one.
I, Peak Refuels beef pasta marinara. I, Backpacker's Pantry pad thai with chicken. Or IV, Mountain House rice and chicken.
I'm gonna go. My first thought was the biscuits and gravy, but I've had the pad thai Backpacker's Pantry, and there's like a lot of packets inside there. I think they even have like peanut butter inside there. I'm gonna go with that one.
Oh, you are correct. You got it. Nailed it. It is I, Backpacker's Pantry pad thai with chicken.
Oh
That
my
is correct. So
gosh,
you
okay.
got 2 out of 3. You passed. Good job, Carl. That is
Thank
impressive.
you. You had some ridiculous questions.
That was
You're
fun.
good at this, man.
I enjoyed that. I hope everyone enjoyed following
You
along.
are good at this. I'll admit. All right. Okay, we got for tidbits. We got something new. I don't know how often we're gonna do this, but we've got what I call gear shout outs. Just new gear that's come out. I've tried some, but not all of these things. But just if you're looking for new things to possibly try out that might be up your alley. So I've got 3 gear shout outs. Jesse, I want to know your take. I'm just gonna give a quick description of it. This is all gear that came out this year.
Okay.
All right, first one. I'm not sure if you heard of the brand Gordini. They're typically like a sock brand that is in like the winter, like, I don't know, skiing and snowboarding, things like that. But they have new sock technology that is specifically designed to help hikers. And so they have the weave they have takes the sweat from the bottom of your foot and moves it. The sock moves it to the top of your foot, and a lot of hikers are wearing shoes that have like meshy uppers. And so it's more likely to dissipate or evaporate through the meshy upper of your shoe. So it's going to just basically take the moisture away from your foot. And
I am all for anything that makes less stinky feet. So
yeah, I would recommend the full length sock on this one, and this is not for somebody who's wearing like a waterproof or like a Gore-Tex shoe. So that's number 1. So
Yeah,
you recommend that one? We'd be willing to try it. Sounds like.
well, I say I'm if it makes your feet
Stinky.
less stinky,
Okay.
I'm in.
All right. Number 2, Helly Hansen. They have something called the Odin Infinity Minimalist Jacket. All right. So this is like your next, I don't know, next generation waterproof jacket. It's an ultralight 3.5 layer shell developed by Mountain Guides that weighs in at 250 grams or 8.8 ounces, and it looks pretty snazzy.
Yes. Yeah. This is an intriguing, a little heavy. I think my rain gear is a little bit lighter, but I've actually looked at this and thought it was pretty interesting.
I think it's like right in the middle in terms of weight, but it's like a 3.5 layer shell, so you're getting
good. Have you utilized it at all?
It's a shout out. This one I have not tried.
Put it on in the shower and shout out next time. That's what I want to know. Use it in the shower
That's a
and see
great
if it was
idea.
effective. Yeah. That's the test. Okay.
Our last one I got is this one I actually have tried. Mountain House. They got some new flavors this year. I tried. This is called ketchup chip flavor. Just kidding. It's called Cajun style jambalaya. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Wow.
And Tupperware Mike tried it on our last trip. He liked it too.
That's
Thumbs up.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last time I had a new flavor. I think it was probably, and this is not new any meat. Yeah, no, I can't think of the last time I've had it. Peak Refuels biscuit and gravy, when that finally came to Canada, was probably the first time I tried
Mountain
that.
House is still developing new flavors. Like their packaging, it's kind of hard to notice because a lot of their packaging looks the same.
It looks the same.
It does, but they're if you pay attention, they're popping out with new flavors. I think last few years anyway. So.
Honest thing, I actually bought so many meals for my GDT through hike that I still have a box full of uneaten dehydrated meals that I'm slowly trying to go through every single time I go out. There's
It'll
like I
take
just
forever.
got a
once you start inviting folks and providing for them, it goes like that.
It's true. It's true. I'm finally starting to get to the low. I think I'm down to 10 meals. So like just a few more backpacking trips.
Yeah. Like when I take my family, I mean, we're eating through 4 a night at that point, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
exactly. Great shout outs, everyone. Please subscribe to the Backpacking Blisters podcast everywhere you can listen to your podcast or watch this. It's probably the most risky thing you could do to lighten your load or lighten your day. And jump on over to the Patreon to lighten your wallet just a little bit. Just kidding.
And remember, folks, bringing freeze-dried food is chancy. sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuits and gravy. Have a good weekend, guys.
I'm all for that. I like that one. That was a good one. Good job, Carl.
Hello, B&B fans. This is Coach Brown in his lair of concocting offensive plays, trying to figure out how to get past the defense in all sorts of innovative and harebrained ways. Great Scott, I think I just figured one out. Why not have both receivers on the right run underneath the safeties? That would do it. They both run underneath the safeties, and then the running back splits the two of them, only to bounce out to the outside and expand his route outward, because that safety will never get to him since he's so concerned about the second receiver running underneath him. Calculated risks, folks. There is a calculated risk in this, and the risk is, what if the corner is able to stay with the second receiver and the safety is able to get over to the running back that expands? Well, that's a risk I'm able to take because I think that second receiver would draw the safety's eyes to him. You are talking with me about calculated risks. Now, there's another place where you take calculated risks, and that is in the backpacking world of going ultralight. When I go ultralight, which is never, there is one thing that I actually do away with. It is a calculated risk, and that is food. Yes, food. You heard me. I only do away with food on calculated risks when I know I'm going with Carl and all the rest of the B&B crew, which I would also put the esteemed Jesse and then the otherworldly, just beyond plane, also known as elite, beyond the plane of reality, I should say, Justin Outdoors. That is the only risk I'll take. I will not take as much food to go ultralight when I go with these men. Why? I know one of them will have a 10-pound gummy bear stashed inside of his pack, probably right next to salmon that has been there for maybe a year, but still edible nonetheless. Calculated risks in ultralight? Food, but only when you go with men who bring tons of it.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.